Well, Brent, we're talking quarterbacks as we kick off the VolQuest.com positional previews.
Hot button.
Hey, it's the one position where you know if Tennessee gets good play or gets substantial growth from whoever it is, and we think it'll be JG, that Tennessee's chances of having a successful fall, if there is a football season, go way up.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, it's the position on offense. Look, they got question marks at who's the third running back, tight end, who's going to replace those playmakers. But it starts at the quarterback spot. And whether, coaches say this cliche phrase all the time, too much credit, too much blame. Bottom line is the success for Tennessee's offense is going to be fueled by what kind of play they get at the quarterback position. We'll start with Jared. It's about what kind of play. Can Jared make the easy play? I think that's my big narrative for Jared moving into this fall or spring or whatever, whenever we play football. We're going to play sometime, I believe. Can he make the easy play? He can make that play where there's a guy barreling down on him and he breaks his wrist. He can make that play across the field, on what looks like a busted play and, there's people draped all over him. But can he make that easy check down throw? Can he make that throw on time? I think that's the biggest thing for Jared. Can he make the easy play?
The swing pass to the running back out in the flat.
Absolutely.
Something that was the kryptonite last year. Again, I go back to this. It's like the movie Major League 2 when the catcher can't throw it back to the pitcher. And they make him start reading the JCPenney underwear magazines. I mean, whatever works, that's an easy throw. And if for whatever reason he puts too much zip on it, he throws it behind, and that's why you've seen a couple of laterals at points, and people have been diving on the ball and those type of things. But I think can you state enough how important it is that this is the first time he's ever had the same coordinator 2 years in a row?
Well, I mean, certainly you can't, but we also said this time a year ago, look at Jim Chaney's reclamation projects
with Jonathan
across
Crompton
football.
Or Nathan Peterman.
Right, all these names that you threw out there, and it didn't translate. And you go back and you rewatch, and we did those podcasts back in March or May it was, when we rewatched the season, and in rewatching it, it was really surprising to me how many things were open that he missed. Jim Chaney drew some stuff up for some easy plays. We all remember, a Florida play, but there was some other red zone stuff that was really open that the ball was late. Jim Chaney is trying to set Jared up to win. Jared's got to take the next step. The question is it in his DNA to do that at this point in his career?
He's got to be able to hit the double move to Juwan against Alabama.
Sure, I mean
he's got to be able to hit DWA on the seam pass down in Florida,
which are really easy plays.
Should
be honest with you.
They're touch throws,
right? And I think that's the maddening thing. Is there are times when he throws a ball and you go, "Wow," and there are other times you go, "What?" And I think that's the yin and the yang of Jerry Garantano.
Yeah, if you can get rid of the what, then I think Tennessee's, quarterback position and quarterback play is much better. If it's not JG, you've got a number of different guys, whether it be Brian Maurer or JT Shroud who've been here, or Harrison Bailey. But it's hard to think Harrison Bailey's going to not really have spring practice and then ascend into, a heavy role right away. And again, I think that's putting too much pressure on a kid rather than get go.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt, and I think all three of those guys needed spring practice. I'm not saying Jared didn't. Jared's been here a long time. He's seen spring ball a bunch. Brian Maurer had an experience in college football last year as a freshman. Didn't capitalize on every opportunity in front of him. Probably needed spring to earn some trust, earn some coaches' trust that hey, he can handle all these things. JT Shrout throws a pretty ball. But obviously the coaches weren't ready to play him a year ago when it was quarterback, rotation or roulette, if you will. So could he earn their trust this spring? He didn't get the opportunity to do that.
And Maurer flashes as much as anybody, but then the consistency isn't necessarily always there.
I think he was a typical freshman.
No doubt.
Who said, I'm going to rely on my athletic ability and my arm strength.
Because that's what he did in high school.
Because that's how I played the game. I'm a gunslinger, which I don't think anybody wants to take some of that mentality out of him. But he's got to be able to understand and read the defense better and not just go out and say, hey, I'm going to go make a play. And there are times he made a play, and then there are other times he threw a ball that was lucky that 5 people didn't intercept it, much less 1. So he's got to get more consistent that way. They've just got to get more consistent quarterback play, period, across the board. Here's the other thing, too. Without those threats of the wide receivers, can they get enough passing game going to open up the run game? Everybody's all excited about this team's ability to run the football. But they're going to face stacked boxes until a quarterback and a receiver or two on this team threaten them down the field.
Yep.
who's going to be that? Which quarterback can give them the best chance to get the ball vertically down the field to stretch that defense out a little bit?
Yeah, and which freshmen or veterans can be the guy that stretches the field for this team? Because Tennessee, I think, lacked that real deep threat at wide receiver. Can Jalen Hyatt be that guy? He's definitely got the speed, but still, you got to understand the nuances of the offense.
Here's the last thing, and I know, and then we're out the door here. I wonder for Jim Chaney, the 2-week OTA stuff that they're doing in July.
How much does that help him?
How much does that help him get his quarterbacks ready for a camp? But as opposed to spring practice, they go off, they work with their individual guys, they do 7-on-7s on their own. He's got 2 weeks, he and Chris Winkie have 2 weeks to coach fundamental ball.
So basically,
leading into fall camp.
So basically, like entering the pool at the steps versus jumping up the high dive.
I think so. I mean, I think it'll help Harrison Bailey. It's not a spring practice, but it'll help him some. But how much does it help that position? I just wonder about that. I think coaches are going to fall in love with this OTA stuff.
How long has JG been gone? John Bryce was here.
Been
Paul's
here.
left, and Jesse's left. That's how long that guy has been around. For Brent Hubbs, I'm Austin Price.